This is ESBR Boxing. Riding solo today, just doing a quick reaction to the weigh-in that we've just witnessed in Tokyo, Japan, as Naoya Inoue and TJ Doheny do battle on Tuesday. So yeah, pretty good for boxing fans. We're getting a bit of midweek action for UK fight fans. Before I get into the weigh-in and stuff, if you haven't already done so, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We've got you covered for all sorts of boxing content, all of the Inoue fight stuff this week, of course, as well as previews, reviews on the night, instant reaction, big fight breakdowns, interviews with fighters, and so on and so forth. Every angle that you can think of, we've got you covered. So please do check out the channel and subscribe if you haven't done so already. There should be a button in the corner of this video somewhere. Subscribe as well. So yeah, please do that. Anyway, yes, as I said, we're here for the Inoue against TJ Doheny weigh-in reaction. I'm going to, having watched that weigh-in in the early hours of Monday morning there. Yeah, it's not, again, not too. Sometimes I think people can read a lot into the weigh-ins. Some people don't really read a lot into weigh-ins. I think sometimes it depends if the fighter's really struggling on the scales, and that definitely makes a difference. But there, I think, you saw obviously both weighing in within the 122 pound limit. Inoue 122 pound bang on. PJ Doheny 121 and 5 ounces, I believe he was. So yeah, both made weight, all the belts on the line, as you saw Inoue standing with all four belts around his arms, staring into TJ Doheny's eyes. So yeah, just looking at the weigh in itself before I kind of give any final thoughts on the fight. Um, yeah, I think Inoue looked sharp as he always does. Don't think he necessarily struggles to make the weight. In saying that, I could say, I'd say that in the future, if he was to move up to featherweight, it would be a bit of a relief for him. TJ Doheny, he's how long has he been making? How long has he been making bantamweight and super bantamweight and all these light divisions for? Like, fair play to him. He's, in the latter stages of his career, in the very latter stages of his career, been there, done it, being a former IBF champion himself, been making this weight for years and years and years, and it cannot be easy when you're late into your 30s to be making 122 pounds. It's crazy. But yeah, he also looked decent on the scales. I think not a pick of fat neither, as you would expect when you're what, 8 stone, 10 pounds, not even 9 stone, like incredible. Um, but yeah, I think you can't really read much into it. The only thing I would say is, the old classic of going for the water bottle straight after the weigh. Doheny did go and rehydrate as soon as he'd weighed in. So make of that what you will. Doesn't really. I think, let's be honest, they're both dry and they're going to need some fuel. So some people maybe read into that he really struggled and he needed to get fluids on board straight away. And me, not so much. Just I just think as you would be thirsty if you're making that weight and have been for 10, 15 years of your pro boxing career. So yeah, that's all I can really touch on the way. And just before we finish up, touching on the fight as well, I think make no bones about it. Naoya Inoue is an overriding favorite here. Let's be honest. A lot of people maybe saw this as a bit of a shock that TJ Doheny was getting a shot at Naoya Inoue to become undisputed. And you know what? Fair play to him for taking the fight. You look at Doheny and he has what, 4 losses on his record, but all are at a pretty high level. He's fought any of his losses that he's sustained in his career have been against names that you would have heard of, the Conlons, the Danny Roman. They're fighters who, yeah, all maybe aren't on a New Age level, but are, yeah, they're kind of top of the division, or were when they fought Doheny. So yeah, fair play to him. Look, Doheny's come again. He's won his last 3 fights, all in Japan via knockout. So that's maybe another reason he got this fight. He's quite a big puncher himself, to be fair, for the weight, but now he's a different animal, isn't he? Let's be honest, he's an absolute freak. He's scarily good. We maybe saw a potential frailty in the last fight against Lewis Neary, obviously getting dropped. Massive surprise, but in the end went on to win the fight, obviously conclusively. So yeah, I mean, probably maybe was it a lapse of concentration? What, we don't know. But yeah, I don't foresee TJ Doheny having any real success here. I think, without sounding harsh, and as much as people need to take the mick as me back in the Irishman. I just can't see any way in which he wins this fight. I would be very surprised if this goes past 2 or 3 rounds. To be quite honest with you, I think, although TJ Doheny's never been stopped, I think Inoue, as I mentioned, is just a different animal. I can't see any way in which Inoue doesn't win this via stoppage and probably early. Like if this got out of 4 rounds, I'd be very, very surprised. And I don't want to sound disrespectful to TJ Doheny, former world champion, been there, done it, but like it's a bit of a mismatch at this stage of his career, really. I think. Like there's no slight on TJ Doheny. You're talking about an elite here, pound for pound, superstar in Naoya Inoue. So yeah, I can't foresee anything other than an Inoue victory. I'm gonna go with Inoue. I think in the preview with Elliot Greg, I said round one. Round one or two. I see Inoue winning this fight. I just can't see any way past. But yeah, fingers crossed after this. Whether he stays at Super Bantam Inoue or but moves up to feather, whatever, we see some more big fights. There's been talk of the All Japan affair with Nakatani. If Nakatani was to move up, the Sam Goodman fight was being talked about maybe as this potential, and that's maybe why Doheny got this. I think he's got carrying a bit of an injury. So yeah, interesting. But me personally, I want Inoue. Say he wins this, I want him to go up to featherweight. Go up to featherweight and try and win out all the marbles at featherweight. Some cracking fights up there for him, all of which I think are in their own right fairly winnable for Inoue. So yeah, can't wait for the fight tomorrow afternoon now. So yeah, I can't beat a bit of midweek boxing action. So yeah, that was a quick way in reaction there. What we witnessed on Monday morning. It's for the Naoya Inoue and TJ Doheny undisputed world super bantamweight contest. Tokyo, Japan. Guys, let us know your thoughts on the fight. How did you think they looked on the scales? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think it'll be a quick night for Naoya and Nui? Let us know all of that. And as I said at the beginning of the video, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video, share our content and all of that jazz. Thanks very much for joining me. Speak to you again soon, guys.